This is a true crime in real time update from True Crime Today and the Hidden Killers podcast.
The tidal wave hit in the form of 5 new lawsuits, each more shocking than the last. They came from the shadows of anonymity. Jane Doe and John Doe detailing stories of glamour turned into nightmares. The accusations spanned years and locations stretching from the glitzy Hamptons to Miami's neon-soaked nights, painting a picture of alleged power abuses that could no longer stay hidden. At the heart of it all, Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul whose influence has shaped modern pop culture. Now he stands accused of drugging and sexually assaulting men and women at his exclusive parties. The claims span 2 decades, dating from 2001 to 2022, and paint an eerie consistency in their details. Tales of drinks that left partygoers dazed, possessions confiscated at the door, and warnings whispered by imposing bodyguards. What happens when the allure of power becomes a weapon wielded in the dark? As the allegations continue to surface, each lawsuit lays bare a story more devastating than the last. A 17-year-old girl recounts her experience at Combs' infamous 2004 White Party, an event attended by celebrities she once idolized. Stripped of her cell phone and purse upon entry, she said she was later drugged and assaulted, waking up to threats that she would be ruined if she spoke out. The memory of Combs' chilling words, "I run New York," still echoes in her legal complaint. Elsewhere, a former actor remembers a casting call for a music video that turned his life upside down. Offered a drink by a casting director, he chose Diet Coke over alcohol, yet what he drank would soon leave him unconscious. He describes waking up partially clothed, assaulted, and physically injured. A horrifying reminder of the night, he says, he fell victim to Combs and an associate. For these accusers, the path to speaking out has been riddled with fear. They claim the mogul's reputation as a powerful figure in both entertainment and legal circles left them silenced for years. But now, represented by attorney Tony Busby, they are finding their voices. Busby himself has not escaped the firestorm. Accusations of extortion, lobbed by an unnamed celebrity connected to the case, aim to discredit his pursuit of accountability. Yet Busby remains undeterred, announcing his intention to file additional lawsuits weekly. For Combs, the mounting legal pressure is a battle on multiple fronts. Denied bail twice already, he sits in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting a trial slated for spring 2025. The charges he faces, racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution-related offenses, have cast a long shadow over his storied career. His legal team remains steadfast, claiming these lawsuits are nothing more than publicity stunts designed to extract settlements from celebrities. Still, the lawsuits keep coming and the grand jury investigation continues. Prosecutors hint at additional charges, expanding the scope of an already sprawling case. As the entertainment industry reels from these allegations, questions linger. How could such alleged abuses persist for so long, shrouded in silence? And what will this mean for the future of accountability in a world where power often seems to grant immunity? The answers may still be far off, but one thing is clear: this story is far from over. It's hard to ignore the gravity of what's unfolding here. These lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs aren't just about one man or even one moment in time. They represent a much larger cultural reckoning with power, privilege, and silence. The sheer volume of allegations spanning decades, multiple states, and numerous accusers speaks to a system that allowed behaviors like these to go unchecked for so long. What strikes me the most is the consistent pattern described by the plaintiffs, the claims that phones and purses were confiscated, that drinks were spiked, and that threats were made afterward. It paints a picture of an environment designed to control, isolate, and intimidate. It's a chilling reminder of how power can be weaponized in the most personal and devastating ways. But as much as this is about the accused, it's also about the accusers, many of whom are still fighting to reclaim their voices after years, sometimes decades, of silence. Imagine being 17 years old, starstruck by the celebrities around you, only to find yourself in a situation so horrifying it would take years to even begin to process it. And then there's the actor, whose career was likely derailed not by a lack of talent, but by a single traumatic night. These stories are harrowing, but they're also sadly familiar in an industry that has long blurred the lines between power and exploitation. Tony Busby's involvement adds another layer of complexity. While some may question his motives or methods, it's clear he's playing the role of a disruptor in a system that often shields the powerful. The counterclaim of extortion against him is telling, an attempt to undermine his credibility and, by extension, the credibility of those he represents. Whether you see him as a champion of justice or a polarizing figure, one thing is certain: his relentless pursuit of these cases is shining a light in places some would prefer to keep dark. So where does this leave us? With Combs incarcerated, awaiting trial, and more lawsuits on the way, the story is still unfolding. But it raises bigger questions about accountability. How do we ensure that those with power are held to the same standards as everyone else? And for those who have been silenced, how do we create a space where they feel safe enough to speak? This case isn't just about justice for the accusers or consequences for the accused. It's about setting a precedent for how these situations are handled moving forward. And that perhaps is the most important outcome we can hope for. That's all for now. We'll keep digging and getting you the facts. Thanks for listening, and be sure to press subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates.
In a world where the darkest secrets lie just beneath the surface,
They said it was an accident, but the evidence says otherwise.
where hidden killers roam unnoticed in the shadows,
I think you would definitely be looking at a blend of toxic, very bad narcissistic personality traits, and they will be vengeful and possibly resort to violence.
join Tony Bruschi as he uncovers the truth behind the most chilling cases.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence clearly says otherwise.
Each episode, we dig deep into the minds of those who commit the unthinkable.
To your point on narcissism, he thinks in his own mind how witty he is.
Yeah.
But he lost that jury. I was done with him in 2 minutes.
From unsolved mysteries to infamous crimes.
Geez, you've just talked about how you've taught yourself how to do everything under the sun. I bet you did a YouTube video, how to best kill somebody with a knife.
Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi takes you where few dare to go.
How does someone with such a dark secret go unnoticed for so long?
With multiple new episodes every single day.
We're not just telling stories, we're seeking justice.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi.